Yo, YouTube, what's up with your boy? Sports and Fitness Rants. I'm back, guys. Click that like button. Subscribe to my channel. What's up, y'all? Welcome back, guys. Welcome back, man. And got another great video for you guys today, as usual, man. You guys know the deal on this channel, man. It's all about setting the record straight, stopping the lies, stopping the narratives, stopping them from rewriting history, guys, and holding these guys to a standard. And in this video, we're going to talk about some comments that I heard Richard Jefferson make. Shout out to my man, Too Raw. I saw he did a video on this. I think it was maybe last week, I want to say, that Richard Jefferson made some comments about LeBron James and the Lakers need 3 more All-Stars to compete for a title. And what I want to focus on is this idea that LeBron James is a competitor. Because LeBron James is not a competitor. And he's never been a competitor on the level of a Michael Jordan. Nowhere near that. And those comments by Richard Jefferson exposed that idea. Right? They don't expect LeBron James to actually compete out there on the court. He always needs more help. So we're going to talk about in this video, man, the comments that Richard Jefferson made and really what that means in relation to LeBron James in his entire career. He always needs more help because his fans, the media, they never expect him to be a true competitor, to compete, right? It's always an excuse. And we're going to talk about in this video, guys. And I want to thank you guys, everyone across the world, everyone across the states has been supporting my channel. I am truly humble, guys. You guys know that. As usual, man, it means a lot for you guys to comment, like my videos. Like I said, share your stories with me, share the info. And like I said, you guys appreciate what I'm doing, man. Remember, real recognize real, guys. And the true basketball fans are standing up, right? We will not allow them, once again, guys, to rewrite the history and tear down these past eras with the lies and the narratives, man. So thank you to all you guys out there. Everybody in the membership, shout out to you guys, man. Thank you. And you guys know what to do. Turn the volume all the way up. Hit that play button. Remember, these videos are for educational purposes. And let's roll. So, yes, guys, like I said, man, shout out to my man, Too Raw. Once again, I saw a video he did last week about the Richard Jefferson comments on ESPN, on one of those, stupid basketball programs they have on ESPN with these other clowns on there like Malika Andrews. Who the hell listens to Malika Andrews about basketball, man? She ain't got no cachet. She ain't got no credibility. And Richard Jefferson has lost all of his credibility over the last several years because a lot of these guys, a Kendrick Perkins, a Richard Jefferson, a J.J. Redick, a Gilbert Arenas, these ex-NBA players, they expose themselves, man, as not being able to hold themselves and keep their integrity, hold on to any kind of class or honor. And a lot of these statements that they make don't make any sense. It don't add up. It's not honorable. They're classless statements. And once again, it shows that they have no integrity. And they're making more excuses for LeBron James. So for Richard Jefferson to say that the Lakers need, maybe 3 All-Stars to compete for a title, it once again goes right back to the lack of competitiveness, the lack of standard that they will ever hold LeBron James to. Because remember, it was LeBron James himself that said that he's such a competitor, you have to chop his head off and bury him 10 feet deep, he said. You guys remember that tweet he sent out? It's always some nonsensical tweet. LeBron James is all talk. He's not action. He's all talk. Because once again, he'll say something like that, but then you watch the game and LeBron James' team is down by double digits and he walks off the court. So really all it takes is for you to get LeBron James' team down late in a game and he folds up. He gives up. He's done. He's done competing. He's not a competitor. So when Richard Jefferson makes these comments, it falls right in line with all the comments that have been made over the last several seasons as it relates to LeBron James, the Los Angeles Lakers, his teams in general. They always excuse it. It's always what? LeBron James needs more help. And this is why I say it exposes LeBron James' greatness. It exposes it. How great are you? How great could you be if you always need help? How can you be making your teammates better? How could you be doing these things if you always need more help? What that shows, or what that's implying, is that the help you have is not good enough because you cannot make the help good enough. You're not improving them. You're not making them better. You're not actually what? Maximizing your teammates. So they're not the best versions of themselves playing with LeBron James. They're better without LeBron James. It's not about the wins and losses, guys. It's about the way that the players perform on the court and the consistency at which they could perform. The LeBron James teammates, they've been inconsistent at best. And why is this? Because LeBron James himself is inconsistent and he forces his team to play in an inconsistent way. LeBron James controls the ball. He controls all the action, right? He controls the pace, everything. So once again, it does not allow his teammates to find a rhythm, to find their spots on the court, to what? Have a role on the team. Michael Jordan was the complete opposite, allowing Phil Jackson to implement the triangle. What did that do? It allowed his teammates to have a role. And Michael Jordan sacrificed to fit into a system, to fit into a role, and to allow his teammates to be successful in that role. It gave them confidence. It gave them consistency at the most. And that's what you need to win at a high level, is consistency from your teammates. And Michael Jordan could count on guys like Paxson and B.J. Armstrong, the Scottie Pippens, the Tony Kukoshes, the Steve Kerrs, the Ron Harpers, the Scott Burrells, the Bob Hansons, the Craig Hodges, the Cliff Livingstons. He could rely on these guys because he knew that they were going to be prepared, because he prepared them in practice. He gave them a role, and they were consistent. And Michael Jordan was consistent. He didn't lollygag in practice. He was consistently on these guys, holding that standard. So when we talk about the competitiveness of a LeBron James, it gets exposed when Richard Jefferson makes these comments. You need 3 more All-Stars to compete for a title. But I thought LeBron James was playing like he's 22 again. You have Anthony Davis, who should be a top 5 player in the league, one of the great two-way players. Anthony Davis, guys, was the only player last year in the NBA, the only player last season, guys, to make an All-NBA team and an All-Defensive team. Anthony Davis, that was it. The only player in the entire league was on LeBron James' team. So once again, Anthony Davis also played what? 75 games? He played a lot of games for Anthony Davis. So the man was out there and he was on both sides of the court doing it. So you're telling me a 22-year-old LeBron James, that they keep telling us LeBron looks 22, he looks like he's in his rookie year. You have that guy and then a great two-way player, the best two-way player in the league apparently, on your team, along with other valuable role players. Remember, a couple of years ago, they told us that the Los Angeles Lakers, going into last season, that the Los Angeles Lakers, the roster was revamped and retooled. They're ready to go. And then what happened during the season? They celebrated in-season tournament, and it all went downhill, down in flames. Once again, LeBron James not being a competitor, celebrating the in-season tournament like an actual NBA Finals championship. Once again, not being a true competitor, not keeping your eye on the prize, not staying focused, popping champagne, drinking it out of the thing. And we mocked him and laughed at that. It was embarrassing for someone of his stature to be celebrating a corny in-season trophy like that. Once again, a gimmick era and gimmick LeBron James, celebrating the gimmicks. All these gimmicks are to make LeBron James feel good about himself. Oh, I'm the in-season tournament MVP. Another meaningless, worthless accolade for LeBron James. Just like the Olympic MVP accolade, it's worthless. It's meaningless. Only for the LeBron James fans it matters. No one else cares about these things. LeBron James not being a true competitor. So Richard Jefferson exposed himself again. These ex-NBA players, I'm telling you right now, as soon as these guys become analysts, quote-unquote analysts, they get rid of all integrity. They lose all humility. Everything goes out the window with these guys. They can't keep any of that stuff. They make these weird statements. They try to form these narratives, and they just lie. They need 3 All-Stars to compete, so that falls on LeBron James. Because why? He don't play defense. The Lakers have been fighting for play-ins every single season, essentially, since LeBron James has been in L.A. So what does that point to? The inconsistency of the team. You're battling for a 7th, 8th seed every year. And then let's not forget, guys, sometimes you hear the LeBron James fans say, oh, they finished in the 7th seed. They weren't in the play-in. They would have made the playoffs if there wasn't a play-in. Let's understand something. What have you guys noticed about LeBron James since he's been on the Lakers, the franchise, the team? What you've noticed is that the Lakers start off slow. They fumble around throughout the season. And what happens? Late in the season, they have an easy schedule at the end of the year. They get to play all these home games, all these weaker teams. And what else? They get over 500 plus free throw attempts than their opponents. All of these in their favor. And still, they're still fighting for the 7th seed, the 8th seed. That's when LeBron James gets exposed. Michael Jordan on the Washington Wizards, who they always like to bring up, He didn't get plus 500 free throw attempts. Not even close, guys. And his team was still battling, still fighting. Because Michael Jordan was out there giving the effort on both sides of the ball, guys, being a true leader, being a true competitor. That's what competitors all about, guys. Not making excuses. LeBron James, he's the king of excuses. A true competitor does not make excuses, guys. And that's what I've always told you on this channel. The true competitors, the athletes, the professionals, they don't make excuses. There are no excuses. It doesn't matter. This guy got injured. You're dealing with some personal problem. None of this stuff matters, guys. It doesn't matter. There are no excuses. A true competitor is going to go out there and compete and leave it all out there on the court, on the field, whatever the case may be. No excuses. That's not LeBron James and his fan base. He'll come to a post-game press conference with a soft cast. Just last season, guys, in his 21st season, the man still came to the post-game press conference and ran down a bunch of excuses as to why they lost. Oh, we weren't whole since the beginning of the season. We were going through, everyone's going through injuries. All these teams had injuries, and they had their top players out. The Bucks were missing Giannis, right? Zion Williamson was out for the Pelicans. Jimmy Butler was out for the Miami Heat. Donovan Mitchell went down. How many injuries did the New York Knicks deal with? There are a lot of teams going through injuries, man. But only LeBron James will come to the post-game press conference as a leader and talk about the injuries and cry and moan and play the victim. Once again, a true competitor is not a victim. LeBron James is always a victim. There's always an excuse. There's always something that, oh, woe is me. Woe is me. That's not the mindset of a competitor, of someone that's going to go out there and give it their all, no matter what. Dive on the floor for loose balls. Bang bodies and box out for rebounds. Hold his teammates to a standard. Be coachable. Hold themselves to a standard. These guys out there lollygagging, man. They're not playing with that true love of the game, and they're not true competitors. They're always making excuses. The fans say something about them, they get all upset because they're not true competitors. They're sensitive because of the truth. It hurts them. So when we call them soft, it hurts these guys' feelings. When we say they're a bunch of floppers, it hurts their feelings. When we say they're not true competitors, right? They love to team up with each other. They get upset. It's the facts, though. Everything there is the facts, guys. These guys are soft, mentally and physically. They're not true competitors. Kevin Durant's not a true competitor, guys. He's not. James Harden, a true competitor? Hell no. They're not competitors. These guys are there for the money and the fame, man. They're not there for the love of the game. They're not. They're not true competitors. They'd rather play with each other than against each other. That's it, guys. There's no fire in a lot of these guys. They're looking for shortcuts. That's not being a true competitor. So Richard Jefferson, once again, you expose yourself. And, I really liked Richard Jefferson for a long time, man. And some of these other guys, you liked them. You respected them as players, as athletes. And then they become analysts, these quote-unquote broadcasters. And all the respect goes out the window because they don't hold on to anything. They hold on to no integrity, none of this stuff. And I don't want to hear about opinions. That's a nonsensical take for someone to say, oh, it's their opinions. No, it's not. It's not opinions. They're narratives. They're lying. They're trying to bend reality and rewrite the history. That's not an opinion. For Richard Jefferson to say that the Lakers need XYZ to be competitive, once again, this is every single year. Every year it's the same thing for a LeBron James-led team. The beginning of the season, right? They need all these moves they have to make. The season starts. The Lakers are fumbling and bumbling. And then what happens? Oh, man, they need more help. LeBron James ain't got nobody on his team. Or they'll do the opposite. Like I said last season, they talked about Darvin Ham. And the Lakers roster was retooled and revamped coming into the season. LeBron James looking the best he's ever looked. He's out there putting work in the gym. This is what they said going into last season, guys. All this stuff. And then what happened? Everything looked good in the beginning of the season, right? They were talking all this trash. All the guys, Dave McNamara, Brian Windhorst, the Los Angeles Lakers win the in-season tournament. LeBron James, the MVP. The Lakers are title contenders. And what happens, guys? Once again, the LeBron James teams are inconsistent. They start fumbling and bumbling. LeBron James low manages a game here, low manages a game there. He's lollygagging, walking around on defense all over the court. He's not holding his teammates accountable. He's not pushing these guys in practice. He's not even practicing. He's not coachable, still forcing his teammates to play in his system. And what happens? The Lakers stumble and bumble, and they're fighting for a play in the whole season. This is typical LeBron James teams every year. Or they'll say preseason odds, the LeBron James team, they're the favorites every year. Like they were the favorite in 2015 going into the season, they lost. They were the favorite going into the 2016 season, right? They were the favorites. All these years they're the favorites. 2011 they were the favorites, they lost. 2014 they lost. LeBron James teams have always been preseason favorites, and they've folded up. Why? Because the inconsistent play of LeBron James and his teams. So throughout the season, they falter. They don't reach the expectations that were set for them. So the odds begin to churn. And people don't believe in LeBron James. He's not a true competitor. He's not a closer. He's not one of those guys that always raises level of play. LeBron James is once again inconsistent. Some games he's great, another game he's bad. At the end of a game he might do this, at the end of a game he might do that. You never know. Not a true competitor. He's not on the level of a Michael Jordan, guys, or a lot of these other guys, a Bill Russell, a Magic Johnson, a Jerry West, a Larry Bird, a Tim Duncan, a Kobe Bryant. He ain't a competitor like those guys. Dr. J, no, he ain't a competitor like them, man. He's not. LeBron James had all these years to prove otherwise, and every single year he does the same thing, makes more excuses. More excuses. Oh, we had this happen. Oh, this happened. It's always something. And his fans do the same thing. His fans, the media, they do the same thing. What do his fans always say? Well, in 2015, Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love got hurt. They got hurt in game one. Kevin Love didn't even play in game one. Kyrie Irving got hurt in game one. And the Cleveland Cavaliers still somehow went up 2-1 without either one of those guys. And what happened after that game? They brought Andre Iguodala in, and all of a sudden LeBron James could not guard Andre Iguodala. He couldn't even guard this man. Couldn't lock him up or nothing. But there goes LeBron James at the end of these games, missing layups, missing shots to win the game. Not there. And they blew a 2-1 lead, lost 3 games in a row. LeBron James ain't a true competitor, and he comes and makes excuses. Or he'll say something like, I'm the best player in the world. So that's what you have to say? Or he'll read over his stat line. I'm averaging a triple-double. And you're losing. So something ain't working right, dude. You got to figure something else out. He'll read his numbers off while he's losing. Don't make any sense. Those numbers don't mean nothing. What are those numbers doing? Did Michael Jordan ever come to a post-game press conference after they lost to the Pistons again and say, yo, I'm averaging 35 points a game. What do you want from me? No, he never did that. What'd he say? I got to get better. We got to get better. We're not on their level yet. That's never LeBron James, because LeBron James ain't a true competitor. He's okay. Hey, I scored my points. I got my rebounds and assists. Hey, we didn't win. What could we do? Yeah, you didn't win because you didn't play no defense. You didn't hustle. You weren't a true leader. You weren't a true competitor. Out there shot chucking, but ain't playing no D. This is LeBron James, and his fans will excuse him. Every loss is an excuse. Every series, an excuse. It doesn't matter. You don't hold him accountable to any standard. LeBron James never held himself to a standard. It's so funny how LeBron James and his fans are identical mindset. How they live their lives. They're victims. They're not grown men. I told you, there's no grown man a fan of LeBron James. Because you stand on nothing. They're all kids. They're all 20-something-year-olds. Idiots, fools, who are not educated on the facts. They don't know, and this is why they can't make videos. What the hell could you talk about? Literally nothing. You know nothing about basketball before 2010. These are 90% of LeBron James fans, guys. They did not play organized sports growing up. They don't even go outside. They don't get any sun. No exercise. They don't play any sports. They just type away. They watch highlights. And they listen to the media. They listen to these fools on TV. Remember, guys, don't believe the hype. LeBron James is not a true competitor. Not like some of the other great competitors of the NBA's history, guys. And he's proven that time and time again. Those are the facts. The fact that Richard Jefferson says he needs more help to be competitive is the same thing every season. No matter what team he's on, they always need more help. They always need somebody else, an extra shooter, an extra defender, an extra rebounder. They need a bigger body. They need a quicker guy. They need someone that can do this, a closer. They need a new coach, a new general manager. Only LeBron James is the general manager always brought up. No, does anybody know the general manager for Bill Russell's teams was? Does anybody know the general manager was for Magic Johnson's Lakers or Will Chamberlain's Sixers? Does anybody know? Does anybody know who the general manager was for the Tim Duncan Spurs? Does anybody know who the general manager was for the Kobe Shaq Lakers? Or the Detroit Pistons with Isaiah Thomas? Does anybody know who the general managers of all these people are? No, you don't. Because they never get brought up. No one cares. Only for LeBron James do they bring up general managers and owners all the time. More excuses. Once again, exposing LeBron James as a true competitor. He don't have to compete on the court. No, as long as he puts his numbers up, that's all that matters. He can score 30 points, have 8 rebounds, 8 assists, and now play a lick of defense. No one cares. But then somebody's a competitor. And then they wonder why his teams are always 7th seed, 8th seed. They've never finished outside the play-in since he's been in LA. You're not a true competitor. So he lollygags throughout the season because he knows the NBA is going to carry his team into the play-in with all those free throws. Think about it. With all those free throw advantages, they're not in the play-in. You guys know the deal, man. Not a true competitor. Once again, more excuses for the media. You guys know the deal, man. I'll catch you guys on the next one.